They are smart, they're passionate, and they're some of the most important people on the planet. They're doctors.
But becoming a doctor is much more than a job. It's really a calling, and it takes a very special kind of person. The journey through medical school and beyond is the subject of Stephen Busalacchi's new book, White Coat Wisdom. Stephen is here tonight to talk about the book. Welcome to Live at 5, and congratulations.
Thank you very much. Nice to be here.
Now, this is an oral history of more than a dozen Wisconsin physicians who pretty much just tell their stories. Well, what was your inspiration for writing this book?
Well, I've worked with physicians for many years. I used to be a news reporter for Wisconsin Public Radio, so I was the health reporter for many years. And I was impressed by these people because they tended to be pretty articulate and just really smart. I really liked the way they came up with their arguments. And I just kind of wondered, how do you get to be like this? You know, how do you arrive at this? And I knew they all had a story. And I thought for like 15 years that I should do this. And I finally got around to doing it a few years ago. And I sat down with each of them for about 2 hours or so. And we talked about their life and how they sort of progressed through their profession and how they decided, you know, what was their main interest in medicine.
Any common threads that you saw through all of them?
I would say certainly persistence. These people just will not stop. Even when people said no. Frequently in their lives, people told them you're not smart enough, you don't work hard enough, and they just proved them all wrong. They used that as an impetus to say, oh yeah, watch me. And, you know, I got rejected from 3 medical schools, 10 medical schools. Well, guess what? The 11th one accepted me. You know, they just don't give up.
The stories about medical school were especially fascinating. I think a lot of people are intrigued about what that would be like and how different that is from undergraduate college. And some of the stories are incredible.
Yeah, I thought so, too. I mean, it was like almost a boot camp sort of situation where they're thrust into this system, this intellectual challenge that's beyond anything anyone could ever imagine. It's like, you know, undergrad times 10. You know, it just keeps coming at them. When you're done with, you know, physiology, you got biochemistry and organic chemistry. It just keeps coming faster and faster. And they talk about how they dealt with that, like how they can just cram more and more information into their brains.
Without it blowing up.
There are a lot of familiar names in this book.
I was going to ask, how did you select the doctors in the book?
And a lot of people ask me that. What this is not is the top 35 doctors in Wisconsin. It's not what it is. These are people I have come to know. They're extraordinary physicians without question. They tend to be leaders in the profession. They don't just work with people in the office, but they volunteer at the Wisconsin Medical Society and other specialty societies. They're on committees. They're heading task force. They're presidents of this. So they're active in the community, and they're just always willing to listen to people and learn more. Humility. You asked about common themes. Humility was a common one among the leaders. They accept the fact that they don't know everything. They want to learn more, and they're very accepting of that.
And they're very candid in the book. Dr. Michael Fiore from the Center for Tobacco Research and Intervention, who many of you probably feel like you know, tells a fascinating story about how he bought his mom a carton of cigarettes every year for Christmas. And that was sort of the, you know, what started his whole career rolling. The anecdotes they tell about their lives is a side of doctors in this community you've never seen before.
Well, that's the thing. They don't have time to tell you those stories in the office, and oftentimes they didn't even tell their own kids these stories. Some of the docs would say, you know, you're asking me questions that my family's never asked. So their kids are going to read this book, and they're going to learn some things.
What do you want people to take? I'm sorry, did we get a wrap up there?
No,
okay.
We have more time.
What do you want people to take away from this book, non-medical people?
Well, I think to have a better appreciation for what it takes to be a physician, because they have a lot coming at them. There's just a tremendous challenge to do what they do and do it well. And I think people often get annoyed because they get stuck waiting in the office, and they maybe don't think about, like, well, who are the other 10 people ahead of me? And so maybe a greater appreciation, and then just you'll learn a tremendous amount about healthcare from the book itself. It's sort of like inside information. I've changed things about my life. For instance, I now pop fish pills, omega-3.
I do too.
You know? I never really did until I read this book, and I learned more about the importance of nutrition and some of the things that we can do to prevent problems. And that's a continual theme throughout the whole book is, you know, there's so much of illness that's prevented.
Well, and the book is like a metaphor for life. You know what I mean? About don't give up, raise the bar. Many doctors sort of have that gene that other people.
Oh, I agree. There's a doc from Madison, Dr. Munji Kalailu. He flunked out of engineering school. He's a lousy engineer, but guess what? He's a great transplant surgeon, and he saved 1,400 people's lives. unbelievable, you know.
It's like he dropped out of engineering school.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
White Coat Wisdom, you can get the book at www.whitecoatwisdom.com. It's on all area bookstores as well. And Stephen will be having a book signing tomorrow from 12 to 1 at Barnes & Noble, West Town.
Congratulations, Stephen. It's a wonderful, wonderful book. We can't wait for the sequel. There's many more doctors to talk to.